And another real life story. I called this The Vision 1975, and I actually had written it up until I got the idea of putting memories and stories, real life stories out on YouTube. I was trying to write up some of the major experiences in my life. It takes a long time to write each one. Some of these I have written up and I've read them to you, sorry to say. Others I just have spoken into the camera, into the cell phone here. This was the vision, a vision that really did happen to me, 1975. I was at another turning point, another crossroad in my young life, and I was scared to death again. 22 years old, and I had just been asked to leave the staff of Bonnie Brae, a residential setting for emotionally disturbed kids in central New Jersey. I was a cottage parent there with teenage boys. My good friend Mark Reed was working there with a younger group of kids in a different cottage. We both knew the director from the church we'd attended in Plainfield, New Jersey, and it was the director who asked me to leave. I'd been working and living on campus since late summer 1975, and now it was mid-December. There had been significant racial tensions in the cottage where I worked, and I had been warned about the possibility of the situation exploding. The beautiful morning when it happened caught me totally by surprise. As we left the cafeteria on campus following breakfast, I was blindsided just outside the door by a large, muscular 14-year-old boy. He had been influenced by smaller but smarter teens in the house. The image of us wrestling on the ground was not acceptable, regardless of how it started, and the director terminated my services immediately and gave me 2 weeks to move off the campus. Suddenly, I was without a job, and in 2 weeks would be without a place to live. Where would I go? What would I do? It was nearly Christmas. Who would hire me at this time of year? Should I stay in New Jersey, or should I leave the area and go to Vermont or New Hampshire and try to work at one of the ski mountains? So many questions and no answers. College had not prepared me for anything like this. I graduated in 1974 with a BA in political science and a minor in urban planning. I'd worked with a county planning agency between junior and senior years and knew it was not for me. If I had more than 1 year left at Rutgers, I probably would have dropped out. Instead, I finished out my senior year, got my degree, but what was I supposed to be doing? What career path should I pursue? I thought I'd found a vocation working with emotionally wounded children, but now it was unexpectedly ending. And to make it worse, I'd soon have no place to live. I had been attending a Friday night training class at my church in Plainfield, New Jersey, First Christian Assembly on West 8th Street, taught by two of the assistant professors. Thankfully, either the same day or the night after I was terminated, I had class. During all these years since that time, I have no idea what the subject of the training was that evening, but in my desperation and crying out to God for guidance, I believe He heard and answered me. Superimposed over Pastor Al Latcher that evening, I saw 2 lists of options. On the left, a new place to live, new friends, new job, and skiing in New England. On the right, while Pastor Al is teaching, on the right, another list, new place to live, new friends, new job, and Jesus in New Jersey at the First Christian Assembly. Life is a bunch of choices, and that night I chose to stay in New Jersey and try to learn as much as I could about the Lord and have Him guide my life. I sensed that being a ski bum would probably lead me to a disastrous party lifestyle. If I stayed in New Jersey, somehow there was a confidence. I sensed that it would work out. I didn't know how, but I was willing to try. And it proved to be a good choice. Dare to trust him and obey.